Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Om. May the divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Welcome to the Sunday service of the Vedanta Society of Toronto, being broadcasted live from the Vedanta Society of Pittsburgh. You can see the shrine there. And we'll begin today's Sunday service by the chanting from Hari. So please begin the Guru Stotra, Guru Astakam.
Shariram surupam tatha kalatram yashascharuchitram dhanam merutulyam manaschena lagnam guroram dhripadne tatakim 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 kalatram dhanam पौत्रादि सर्वं गृहं बान्धवा सर्वमेतद्विजातं मनश्चेन्न लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं षडङ्गादिवेदो मुखे शास्त्रविद्या कवित्वादिगद्यं सुपद्यं करोति मनश्चेन्न लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं विदेशेषु मान्यस्वदेशेषु धन्यः सदाचारवृत्तेषु मत्तो न चान्य मनश्चेन्न लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं क्षमामण्डले भूपभूपालवृन्दै सदा सेवितं यस्य पादारविन्दम् मनश्चेन्न लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं यशो मे गतं भिक्षुदानप्रतापात् जगद्वस्तु सर्वं करेयप्रसादात् मनश्चेन्न लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं न भोगेन योगेन वा वाजिराजौ न कान्तासुखेनैव वित्तेषु चित्तम् मनश्चेन्न लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम् अरण्येन वा स्वस्य गेहेन कार्ये न जेहे मनोवर्तते मे त्वनघ्ये मनश्चेन्न लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम् अनर्घ्यानि रत्नानि मुक्तानि सम्यक् समालिङ्गिता कामिनीयामिनीषु मनश्चेन्न लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे Tatah kim, tatah kim, tatah kim, tatah kim. Gururashtakam ya pate punya dehi. Yatir bhupatir brahmachari jagehi. Labhe vanchitartham padam brahma sanyam. Gururukhtavakye manuyasya lagnam. Gururukhtavakye manuyasya lagnam. Gururukhtavakye manuyasya lagnam.
Now reading by Buddhadev.
So I'll read from the complete works of Swami Ranganathanadaji, some of Swamiji's saying regarding to the subject of talk today. So Swamiji says, the root of evil is an illusion that we are bodies. This, if any, is the original sin. All the forces that are working in this body have been produced out of food. We see that every day. As in a river, the masses of water are changing before you every moment, and new masses are coming, yet taking similar form. So is it with this body. Yet the body must be kept strong and healthy. It is the best instrument we have. Body is an unreal dream, and we think we are all bodies. Body is the name of a stream of matter continuously changing. Bodies come and go, but the soul does not change. Get rid of the bondage of body. We have become slaves to it and learned to hug our chains and love our slavery. So much so that we long to perpetuate it and go on with body forever. Do not cling to the idea of body. Do not look for a future existence in any way like this one. Do not love or want the body, even of those dear to us. In this body, He resides, the Lord of souls and the King of kings. It is a constant change. Not one body is constant. It is the warmth that creates the body. The body and mind are dependent. The body cannot be the soul. The body is mortal and the mind is mortal, but both being compounds must die. The body is our enemy, and yet is our friend. The body is subject to the law of growth and decay. What grows must of necessity decay. The body is the external coating, and the mind is the internal coating of the Atman, who is a real perceiver, the real enjoyer, the being in the body who is working the body by means of the internal organ or the mind. The body must be properly taken care of. The people who torture their flesh are demoniacal. The less the thought of the body, the better. For it is the body that drags us down. The organs are the horses, the mind is the rein, the intellect is the charioteer, the soul is the rider, and the body is the chariot. There are the altars, but here is the greatest of altars, the living, conscious human body. And to worship at this altar is far higher than the worship of any dead symbols. There is but one temple, the body. It is the only temple that ever existed. The body is a combination. It is only a fiction to say that I have one body, you another, and the sun another. The body is not I. The idea of body is a simple superstition. It is superstition that makes us happy or unhappy. It is superstition caused by ignorance that makes us feel heat and cold, pain and pleasure. But we have to keep the body in good health. We have to take care of what we eat and drink and what we do. When the forces that hold it together go away, then this body must fall.
Now, a few moments of meditation. Om. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good morning, friends. Today's topic of discussion is the house. We dwell in house and we have seen various kinds of houses. Some are big mansions, some are large bungalows, some are apartments, but those are all dwelling place. We live there, we dwell there. They provide us protection from the weather, and it's a place of rest, and it gives us energy or opportunity to work in the next day. We want to keep this house clean and nice looking. That is effect on our mind. But basically, houses are all dwelling places. As there are big and small houses, there are also a few RVs. Those are practically houses or mobile houses, which can move from one place to other. This body is compared to that mobile houses. It is mobile, but it is the house. House of what? House of ourself. We dwell in this house. As Swamiji says, to identify ourselves with this dwelling place is a superstition. We are the beings which utilize this body to dwell inside and to make the body work in the purpose of our life. The purpose of life as defined by the sages, and Sri Ramakrishna very emphatically said, the purpose of life is to realize God, to know our real nature. And this body and the mind, those who are part of our house, they help in that. So this is a wonderful thing of our house. Swami Vivekananda said, each soul is a circle whose circumference is nowhere, but center is at one place. So we are really soul who are all pervading. But somehow we identify of the one place, one center as our dwelling place. And that is this body, one particular body. Somehow we have started identifying as my body, my dwelling place. I live here. But in reality, I'm all pervading. I have no, this is, if we have knowledge, we will not identify ourselves with one body. This body is practically a product of nature. It is not consciousness, it is not the self, but is a product of nature. And this body, which I say my body, is equal to all the bodies of all the forms that we see in the world. There's nothing, this is my body and that is not my body. So all bodies are just bodies. There's nothing to call my body. There are the bodies, the form that is created by the Divine Mother, bodies of human beings, bodies of animals, bodies of birds and worms and other creatures, bodies of plants. All different bodies have been created by the Divine Mother. And of these, one particular body we think to be our house. So this is superstition, no doubt. But there is a purpose of this superstition. This superstition also can be made as a useful tool for the purpose of our life. As the tool is to use this body as instrument to realize and attain what we need to attain by being born as a human being, has been given as the human body to dwell in. This idea of having the body as a human being, we could have the idea about being as having the body of any animal. And our all this rebirth and reincarnation is that we change our identity from one body to other, from one human body to another human body, from human body to animal body, from animal body to plant body. Like that, life form changes, but we remain same. So that is the body thing. As when we own the body where we live, like the apartment or a detached house or twin house or whatever you call the body, we have to pay taxes for owning the house, because that has to be maintained, the city has to look after, and things have to be supplied. Like that, this body, the human body, has also to pay tax. Sri Ramakrishna used to say taxo in his colloquial Bengali, he used to say taxo. So, what is the tax that where by dwelling in the body has to pay the tax? The tax is in anxiety and restlessness and misunderstanding and physical discomforts and the sickness. All these are the tax that we have to pay for using this thing of nature called body, and we use this to enjoy this world. Enjoyment are of many kinds. You can say enjoyment, having the physical enjoyment called physical pleasures, the worldly pleasures, the sense pleasures. That is one kind of enjoyment called the Vishaya Bhoga, the Vishayananda. You enjoy that, no doubt. You enjoy food, you enjoy roaming around, you enjoy scenery, you enjoy beautiful songs. Those are all Vishayananda. Similarly, there are more subtle joy that body gives you, body at the level of mind that gives you, is called bhajanananda, the joy of meditation, joy of prayer, joy of beautiful bhajana, the singing songs, joy of listening to devotional songs and focusing mind on the divine plane. So that is also subtler joy, intenser joy, that is bhajanananda. Vishayananda is very gross, very temporary. It has very side effects. It produces misery, as it is said in the Shastras. Whatever pleasure you get by enjoying the body and the senses, there is consequence and suffering at the end. Yehi samsparsaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate. There is suffering after that, or physical, that's Vishaya Bhoga, Vishaya Ananda, it brings us misery at the end. But Bhajanananda gives you very subtle and very sattvic joy, Bhajanananda. And there is still greater joy that we can have by utilizing this body and mind and intellect, that is called Brahmananda, the joy of dwelling in God Himself. That is Brahmananda, though realizing the being immersed in the Brahman, that is Brahmananda. But Brahmananda in lesser degree of other than Nirvikalpa Samadhi, when you have Bhava Samadhi, when you have total absorption in the inner ideal, that Brahmananda, when your mind is there, but very subtle, pure, purified mind is enjoying the divine aspect of the divine being. That is the Brahmananda that you enjoy. That is the joy of being in God, being with God. And this type of joy this body can give. So, by the definition of our body, we know that this physical body, as it is said, there are three kinds of bodies actually. It's not only one kind. One is called gross body, the body made up of this physical that we perceive, what we call I when we identify with the body, made up of skin and the muscles and the fat and bones and blood, all and the organs, internal organs that we doctors treat. All that is physical body, sthula sharira. There is another body. It's called Sukshma Sarira, subtle body. That is also exactly like this Sthula Sarira. Like Sthula Sarira has good health and bad health, it needs to be treated when it goes sick. Like that, Sukshma Sarira is made up of mind, intellect, emotions, ideas. All those are the Sukshma Sarira or subtle body. And this subtle body also sometimes gets sick. Sometimes it also needs rest. It also needs to be reinvigorated. It also needs to be vitalized. Exactly like the gross body, the subtle body is there. So subtle body also needs to be taken care of. When we say compare the house, body with the house, then this subtle body also comes in that. There is still third body. What is there other than the mind, the intellect, ego, than this physical body? What is another body that we dwell in? It's called causal body, Karana Sarira. That Karana Sarira is different from physical body and mental body. Karana Sarira is the causal body, though it is a body, but it's so subtle there even the mind does not go there. Even the mind has no approach to causal body. Causal body is our dwelling place when we go beyond even the mind, but still we are in the body. We have not reached, we are not in ourselves, we have not reached the Brahman or total absorption in the reality. We are not in pure consciousness. That is also a body, but Karana Sharira. So all these three bodies are the body, the house that we dwell in. So we are quite, you can say we're quite rich persons, billionaire. They have so many houses in so many places. In New York, they will own three houses, and another will own in Los Angeles, some in Florida. Rich person, he has many houses. So we are also rich in that way. We have three houses: gross body and subtle body and causal body. All of us are rich. But we need to understand that this body, which we consider as ourselves, we identify as I, not I, it is our dwelling place, it is our place to rest, it is our thing to utilize, it is an instrument to be used for the purpose. So that is this mobile house that we all own. Mobile houses, three houses in one, that is the house. And this house is sometimes described as a city with 9 gates. Navadware Pure Dehi Naiva Kurvan Nakarayan. The Dehi, the one dweller inside, dwells in the city with 9 gates. 9 gates, all the opening of the body, physical body, eyes, mouth, nostrils, like that. 9 gates. So this is actually, this body is also compared to a city having 9 gates. And the dweller dwells there, enjoys this body, and enjoys the city like the king enjoys his kingdom. Like that, we, the indweller of the body, enjoy this body. But this body has to be kept well groomed, nice, and then only we can enjoy. Otherwise, body becomes the root of all problems. If it is not well kept, it has so many diseases and sickness, and then it becomes think that we have to this all our indweller has very little time. The mind will think of the indweller, or we will realize the truth with our instrument of the mind. This mind has to be more engaged in the thought of body, how to get rid of this backache, knee pain, headache, and all those things, all centered in this physical body. It has no time to think even the subtler body about what I am reading, how to enjoy nice poems, how to enjoy the spiritual practice. That also becomes less because all effort goes to think of and maintain this house, gross body, the first house. And when the this is kept well and trimmed, and by the grace of God, you have done effort to keep it fit by good food, good nourishment, and the regular habits. And you don't. The mind helps too much. Mind doesn't go out of its own thing to dwell in something to sense pleasures which bring miseries. And when mind is too much involved in sense pleasures, then body is neglected and brings all sorts of suffering, not only to mind itself, but the body also gets affected by that. But when that mind is utilized in the proper way, in disciplined mind, then it takes care of the body, it takes care of itself, and you have a wonderful life. The life that is given to us in this body as a human being, lot of by the grace of God, we have got the human body. Shankaracharya says in the Viveka Chudamani that this Manushya Janma is got by the grace of God. Grace of God, the three things are God. So one of the three things, first thing is the Manushyatvam, this human body with the wonderful qualities. Mumukshittam, Manushyatam, Mumukshittam, Mahapurusha Samsraya. So this, by the grace of God alone, we are born as a human being. We dwell in the human being. Though it is said that why this suffering, why, for what wish I have retained human body. Kimichan kasya kamaya shariram anusvanjaret. For what I have retained this body. But the purpose is this human body is the great gift of God, greatest gift of God. So this human body is to be taken care of. This house is a great gift that we have owned. People work so hard to own a house, and they work to become rich and own houses in different cities. But we have been given this body. Our only work is to maintain this body with proper self-control and the knowledge how to maintain this body, which consists of physical body, this gross body, and the also subtle body, the mental body. This, if we can take care of and do it the right way we maintain, it gives us immense joy while we live. And when we live in this body, and one day the body, as when we have houses, we keep it for a certain time. When our children are growing, and that we need a house. And when children are grown, the house becomes big. Children have left different places. They'll go to different cities. Now, husband and wife, what they will do with having a house with 4 rooms? Now they move to another apartment, some condominium, because they need now small space. So they move from one house to another. Like that, when the purpose of this house is fulfilled, we also move from this house. We let that house, we can't sell it. We didn't buy it. It is given by God, by nature. So we give it back to the nature, and we call body is dead. The body dead is nothing. We have just left this body because it has no purpose anymore remaining. So we leave this body, and who takes care of this body? Who buys that? Nature takes its care. And what does nature do? Nature decomposes the body to the element by which it is made. And again, nature makes another body out of those molecules. It makes another body to be given to another being, another indweller. So that is what the body happens. Shankaracharya said in Viveka Chudamani that this gross body consists of a very filthy thing. It's a sack filled with filth because it is made up of skin and flesh, blood and arteries, veins and fat, marrow and bones, and full of other offensive things, full of filth. That's what Shankara describes this human body with a purpose. Shankara knows that body has some good purpose also. Shankara wants in Viveka Chudamani to make us realize that we are not body. We, through many births in different bodies, have always been identified with the body that we possess, the house that we own. Whether it is a body of a giraffe or body of a hare or body of a human being. Always we think, I am that, just to body. So Shankaracharya, at the human level, when the being has intellect to understand, puts hammers us that you consider this filthy body as yourself. It is just a filth-filled sack. Don't consider you are. You are the glorious consciousness, purity itself, all pervading, pure, glorious being. Why do you consider yourself, identify yourself with the body? So he hammers us to disidentify from our identity with the body and consider body as an instrument. But Swami Vivekananda gives the glory of the body. As Shankara himself said, Manushyattvam, he said, God by the grace of God. Swami Vivekananda enunciates the glory of human body. This human body is the greatest body in the universe, and a human being, a greatest being. Man is higher than all animals, than all angels. None is greater than human being. Even the devas or gods with small g will have to come down again and again and attain to salvation through a human body. It's so glorious thing, a gate to salvation, gate to self-knowledge, the human body. We are so lucky to be born as a human being, having a human body. Just we need to understand that and utilize this body and mind properly for the achievement of the goal for which we have been given this. If we fail to utilize this human birth and just let it go in vain like any other animal body that we're born, then that is great loss of opportunity that is given to us. Mahati Vinasti. The Shastras say it is the Mahati Vinasti, greatest loss that you are committing. You are not doing sufficient things to utilize this body to realize your true nature, who you are, and you caught in the snares of this Maya. Consider this body alone as yourself, identify with this, and live like any other animal, like a goat, like a sheep, and you just born, procreate, get old and die, just to be born again in some other body. So that will be great loss. It is this human body is not the body of a sheep or a goat. So this body is given rationality, given intellect, the thought that you can utilize. There is the possibility of viveka and vairagya given. Utilize it properly. Make it better utilized. That is what it is given. God created human being after creating everything. After even creating angels, then God created human beings, says the Semitic religion. And after creating human being, he thought he has completed his creation. It is the best evolved thing. So that is the glory of human body. Even in their religion, like in ours, it is said that even the gods, the Yama, Indra, all they have to be born as a human being to attain salvation. Otherwise, they are bound. They are in ignorance. So to attain real freedom, they have to be born as a human being and do the spiritual practice. So what they said, God created human being and asked angels to salute human being, to respect human beings. So angels, according to God's commandment, they saluted human beings. How glorious the human life is. In all religions, it is said, highest, savar upore manushyattva manushar upore kyakunai. So human being is the greatest being that is created by God. And the story goes that one of the angels, he did not want to salute human beings. Human beings, they live in the world. We communicate with the God. So how can man be greater than us? So he refuses to salute human beings, to obey the commands of God, and God became very angry. And that was the Iblis. The God said, "You," and that Iblis, God became angry, and that Iblis became Satan. That's how the Satan thing comes. He who refuses to listen to God, who refuses to do the things that the scriptures say, God's voice and commandments say, if we also fail to abide by the teachings of the Shastras, we are also like Satan. So Satan is not some being. It is only those who do not follow the commandments of God, who do not follow the teachings of the scriptures. They are like Satan. They are like Iblis. So that's how the glory of human being is said even in the Bible, in the all Semitic religion. It is glorious to live in the house of human body. What a wonderful house that Swami Vivekananda beautifully described as the best house in the world, best body that is given. What an opportunity given to us. Swami Sri Ramakrishna said the goal of human life is to realize God. That is our real goal. Others are smaller goals, passing our exam, getting a job. All other goals are temporary goals that is done in this world. The real ultimate goal of human life is to realize God, is to know our real nature. So for that, we have to utilize these bodies in that direction. In the scriptures, it is said that one was that body is a house, that is our topic. Another is body is a city, Navadware Puri. So this is the Puri. This Puri means city, where nine gates are there. Then another comparison of this body, and the body is compared with the temple. They say Devo Devalaya Prokta Jivo Deva Sanatana. Tejet Ajnana Nirmalyam Soham Bhavena Pujayet. So it is said, body is not simple, this human body is not simple house, but it's Devalaya, it is temple, because God resides within it. So treat it that way, keep it that way. Temple, we always house, we have so many things in the house we keep. But temple is the dwelling place of God. It has to be kept clean, it has to be kept all nice. When people come to the temple, their idea changes. Their thoughts become very dedicated, flow towards the divine thought. So that is how the human body is. Deho Devalaya Prokta. It is not simple house. It is not the nine-door gate alone. It is Devalaya, because God resides within the heart. Sri Ramakrishna, that wonderful that simile that he said, what is where does the God dwell? What is greater than God? Someone asked. Oh, there is something greater than God? I say, yes, something is greater than God. What is that? It is the heart of a devotee. How? God is the greatest. But God also dwells in the heart of a devotee. So devotee becomes the dwelling place of God. Bhagavaner Boithak Khana. The God's parlor is the heart of a devotee. Because God always manifests in the heart of a devotee through the actions and the thought and behavior of a devotee of God, of a sadhaka, of a siddha. That is the manifestation of God, because God resides in them. Does God reside only in the heart of a devotee? No. God resides in the heart of every being and manifested in the heart of every human being. Where God manifests more, there is it feels that He resides there more. And what about the common people? That's why common people, it is said that some people know manifestation of God. Some are so ill-behaved, wicked, evil people. Does God really reside in that house also? Yes, God resides there also. But the people, that house is not aware of God's living there. If somehow they have the clue that in my heart also God resides, like in the heart of a saint, that person becomes saintly. That house becomes Devalaya. Instead of being the house of a wicked person, that becomes the house of a Devalaya. Sri Krishna said in the Gita, Apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak. If a durachara, if a wicked person, he had started worshipping me, considering me, not only durachara, sudurachara. In his life, he committed many sins, have been very, very wicked. If he little changes and bhajate mam, then he starts worshipping me, thinking of me, mind has changed towards me, given up all his vice acts, and Mam Ananya Bhag now has become totally transformed. Yes, and there is a U-turn in his life, though he has or she has committed many ills in his life. How to treat that person? In the past, he had so many ills. But as the English adage says, every saint had a past, every sinner has a future. Sri Krishna says beautifully this, that that person apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhag. Forget his or her past life. Now sadhureva samantabhya. Consider him or her to be like a sadhu, like a good person. That person has really become good, that has given up all his past action, and past action do not count because that person has touched the philosopher's stone. After the iron, this black metal, somehow it touches the philosopher's stone, parasmani, then it becomes gold. What does it matter whether it was iron or what it was in the past? It has now become gold. For all practical purposes, it is gold. Don't remember what it was in the past, what it is now. That is more important. Sadhureva samantabhya. Think, consider him like a sadhu. Treat him like a sadhu, and samyak vyavasito hisa. For that person has now resolved rightly. So only bhajate mam ananya bhag. Get connected to God. That is the ultimate joy of life. This human life was given to enjoy real joy of life, having a life. That's why this body is given us, this body, physical body, human looking body, with a human mind, advanced this intellect, rational brain, and mind that can analyze the things, that has a lot of intellect, that is so sharp to analyze what is right and what is wrong. That is the power to have viveka and vairagya. So such type of mind has been given to utilize that mind to do viveka and vairagya, and this body becomes devalaya. Deho devalaya. That has been said. This is devalaya. This human body is not any other house. It is the temple, grand temple. And who is the dweller there? Jivo Deva Sanatana. The indweller there is the Deva, is the indweller, is the God, eternal God, that always living Jivo Deva Sanatana. How to worship this God that is inside, that dwells in our heart, even if we identify with body and mind by just listening that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am that spirit, that consciousness. We can't really transform our identity with the indwelling spirit. We are so much identified with this body and mind from generation to generation, from life to life. So it doesn't go. But what we can think, that if I am this body and mind, yet there is something that grand dwells in my heart, and that is God. That indweller is God. Now, identification, getting identified with indweller is another great, it is sadhana. But indwelling God is there, all glorious, goodness, beautiful. That being is there indwelling. So how to worship that God? To worship that God, Tyajet Agyana Nirmalyam. The other Nirmalya is what is utilized. Tyajet, give up those utilized flowers, Nirmalya. And Soham Bhavena Pujita. How to worship that indweller? Because flowers don't go there, you cannot show light to the indweller. Only way to worship indweller, soham bhavena. Try to identify yourself with that indweller, with that dehi, with that who is indwelling in the heart. That alone is the thing. When you think yourself as I am that divine, Soham, Aham Brahmasmi, then you are worshipping that when indweller. You are getting connected with indweller. What we do when we worship God outside? Yesterday we did Kali Puja. What we do? We did, there is the image of Kali. We try to invoke the presence of Mother there in our minds. The Mother is dwelling, and we offer her flowers and the dhupam and the light, and we offer food, and all this process of worshipping with the external objects. What is intention? Intention is getting closer to the divine, being thinking of divine more and relinquishing all other thoughts. That is the purpose of worship of God, external worship, that you get closer and closer to God with the process of external worship. Similarly, worshipping internal God, indweller, that is inside us. How to worship? Soham bhavena pujayet. Always worship Him, the idea that I am He, I am that, so aham brahmasmi, that indwelling self seems to be separate from me. By the Shastras, I can understand that some glorious conscious being dwells in me, me that is body and mind complex, body mind complex. But I want to dwell in that, to dwell, to worship that. Think more of your identity with Him than your identity with the body, which really you are not. You are, in fact, that being. And that when we think of that, when we meditate on our true nature, that is the worship of that dweller. It is said in a song, Mono chalo nija niketane. So there is another. So one, the sadhaka says, mind, let us go to our own abode, our own house. Niketana means house. So this here we are moving like a foreigner, as if we have come on a visa and dwelling, but our real house is there. What is that real house? Real house is the self. That is real, our house. We have to identify with and dwell there, and that real house, mano chalo nija niketane, sangsara bideshe, bideshir bese, brahmo kyano akarane. Why uselessly you are moving here in this samsara? All this paraphernalia you have spread around. This is that, this I like, that I don't like, this is my person, that is my friend, that is enemy. That's, you have made so much of this wave of all complications, all you created with your mind, and this thing is really troublesome. The world gives trouble to you because you are indwelling in such place. You consider yourself as the body and hold this world as your house, and then you suffer. Rather, let us go to your own house. That house, going to house is not by shedding this body. Going to house is going inside to your own dwelling place, to your own identity, to God that resides within your heart. Think of God. Think of God more. And that is the place of peace and joy. And just get out of this hobnobs of this worldly things, and we need to do this every day. Otherwise how will you interact with the world? We have to do so many things in the world, our duties, office going, connection with the people, our friction with our boss. So many things happen. That is all going outside, but there is, and all disturbs our mind. But when we come to the house, go to the shrine, sit in front of the image of our picture, or in this image of the deity that we worship, we feel divine and get connected with that, the peaceful being. We immediately go to our real house, real place, real dwelling place. Mono chalo nija niketane. In another song, this Trilokanath Sanyal, they used to sing song for Sri Ramakrishna. He used to like songs, Triloka songs very much. One of the songs that Sri Ramakrishna like is Natho Tumi Sarvasya Amar. Oh Lord, you are my everything. God is everything. Nothing else is mine. In this world, nothing is so called is mine. You are my all, oh Lord. And in that it says, Tumi baso griho aramero sthal. You are my dwelling place, O Lord. And when I dwell in you, there is so much of rest. Aramera is all. We really get rest, refreshment, joy, and peace when I dwell in you. When I forget you, there is all suffering. Mrityu se dhare, mrityu ra roop, dukkha hoy se dukkheri koop, says Rabindranath Tagore. The death really becomes death when I forget you. And all suffering becomes like the well of suffering, deep well of suffering. But when I dwell in you, there is no mrityu, there is no dukkha. All this death, fear of death, and all suffering goes away. Just when I dwell in you, when I am with you, O Lord. When I forget you, all the problems of life come and they become exaggerated. They become very intense. But when I am with you, all these problems of life become very simple and very loose and very like sprinkling. It can be overcome so easily. God is that strength that gives us power to interact in this world, interact with all the strength and all the peace that we seek. And that's for that we need to do that thing. So we need to treat the body as a temple, as Swami Vivekananda said in the reading that was read this before this my talk, that you maintain this body, trim it, nourish it well, repair it, do it what it needs to be given, exercise, nourishing food, good rest, whatever it needs, give that. These are all meant to maintain the body, because you may not be body, but body is something that is given to you to take care of, and it is like a boat that will take you across the samsara, as boat takes us across the river. And after that's why boat needs to be taken care of, that water doesn't come in, it doesn't leak, it is proper, it is not rusted. Like that, you have to take care of the body as much as it can. It will get old, it will wear out, no doubt, but let us keep it well by all the things. Let us keep our mind, the subtle body, another house. Also, take more care of that. Physical body, we often care. Take nourishing food and all this term bio food, or this now this term organic food. Organic food, it keeps body strong. So many things we think about the body. Everyone, if you go in the houses, or even they don't mind to spend more money on organic food or something that is healthy. Eat something that is not processed. So many things come. All the things we take care of the physical body, but what about the mental body? What about the karanas? What about the sukshma sarira that is to be taken care of more? What we take in for the sukshma sarira, the sights, the vision, the thoughts, the sound, what we watch on television or read in the magazines or hear through the news, how much it disturbs the mind and clouds and pollutes the mind. The mind is a wonderful thing. It is given us to realize the self, realize God. But if we pollute it with all the nonsense that can come from the world, then how will it function properly? A polluted, contaminated mind is a sick mind. When mind becomes sick, it is not able to work properly. It will not give you the right decision thing. It will give you all wrong ideas, misunderstandings. All that is the polluted mind. When the mind is free from contamination, from pollution, because you give it good food, and good food is nice literature, reading scriptures, study of scriptures, always thinking good about others, trying to serve others. That's why they say to keep the body fit, this physical body, gross body, and the subtle body, you have to practice viveka and vairagya, bhakti and seva. Viveka is discernment between what is good and what is not good, what is proper and what is improper, what is beneficial and what is not beneficial. All this called viveka. You discern the thing that is really useful. And vairagya comes along with viveka. You discern, oh, this is good, this is bad. And vairagya says, don't go for bad thing, impermanent thing, unuseful thing, the thing that will give you trouble. Don't go for that. But get the thing that is beneficial, that is good. That is called Vairagya. After discernment, generally, if you discern, if you know that this is good food and this is poison, generally human being will not go for the poison. So Vairagya automatically comes, it will hold on to the good. Amrita, it will reject the poison. But sometimes, knowingly that it does harms, sometimes people indulge in something that is non-essential, non-beneficial. A person has diabetic and so much of greed is there, and it says there's nice sweet is there, let me have one good chocolate has come. So this chocolate is so tasty, it is not found everywhere. It's Swiss chocolate has come from Switzerland. Okay, I will take medicine, and only one day a little taking Swiss chocolate, it has come so difficulty. So discernment is there, this is good, this is bad, person knows, but he chooses the chocolate to eat, now suffers because of that. Why it happened? Because greed was there, full self-control has not been attained. So there was the thing that you were not able to control yourself, your greed, and suffered because of that. So Vairagya is that you don't indulge. Vairagya makes you so strong. You take only what is good. You reject like poison what is bad. That is Vairagya. And Viveka Vairagya has to lead us to Bhakti and Seva. Bhakti is love of God. When we choose what is right, what is the thing that we are always alert in what I am thinking, what I am choosing, what I should do, then it becomes habit. It doesn't become problem. Vairagya is not a problem. Only to do good thing, nothing, no indulgence in anything that is harmful. There's no problem. It automatically happens if we practice it for some time. They say if you practice something for 15 days, it starts becoming a habit. Good and bad both. If you do bad things for 15 days, it becomes habit. If you do good thing for 15 days, self-control 15 days, it becomes a habit. So for some time, if you have that thing, control, and then Vairagya is not difficult. Automatic Vairagya comes. You don't go towards that. People are there who say, Swami, this is only nice sweet I have made. Please, can you try something? Just today, some devotees come to me and say, Swami, this Rasagolla I made, but I am diabetic, mother. Oh, Rasagolla I made. You eat this. You just squeeze it and eat. And if some sugar increases, go and walk more, half an hour more today. But you eat my food. Now, if you have little greed, what you do? Then you go on eating that. No, Rasagolla, so much pestering in there. After all, a devotee, I cannot hurt her feeling. I should eat. So, like that thing comes. But the real feeling is not hurting the devotee. Real is the greed indwelling. Oh, Rasagolla, I have not eaten for so many days. She says she prepared, so let me not to hurt her. All these excuses come. Mind is so tricky, treachery thing. It gives you many reasons to do something that is not right thing. So what I do generally, I just take the sweet and put at my head and show the reverence. Mother, thank you very much. I keep you. You don't know, but she doesn't desist from that. I have to walk half an hour more just to digest her sugar. But she wants it, and there is, of course, not to blame that person. It is born out of love for the monk. She made something to feed and wants to honor or do the things from her side, but from my side should be like that. So like that, the things happen. So body has to be kept fit and the mind clean. Clean mind will be taking us to very high goal. It is said in the Shastras that our senses are all outgoing. Man, this is very natural. Paranti khani vetrinat swayambhu tasmat parang paschati nantaratman. All we see outside, all joy, glory, all outside. Where do we find joy inside? In meditation, it seems all dark, all sleepy, lazy. But outside you go, what a wonderful scenery. Oh, Zermatt. Oh, this Matterhorn. Oh, wonderful Sasfi. We all see Switzerland, so beautiful. The Florida beach is so nice. External, all if is scenery. What about I had wonderful japam today. I could forget everything and I had so nice meditation. I dwell on this aspect of the scripture today and I found so much joy. Where we have that sort of mind developed, we need to do that. But who is responsible for our senses going outside? Scripture says it is the nature has done that. Our senses are made that way. Paranchi Khani Vetrinath Swayambhu, Swayambhu himself, who has created, and the created being has made this senses go outside. But that is not for all. Kaschit dhira pratyagatmanam. There are some wise people. Those senses made going outside. Wise people are there. Vritta Chakshu, they turn their eyes, their senses inwards because they want immortality, they want real bliss in life. They know that human life is rare among all the life that is given to us and want to fully utilize it to give us the thing, real thing that this life can give. They want immortality. That's why Amritatvamichan, Abrita Chakshu, they can turn their sight, their focus inside, and find the indwelling, glorious self as their own being, glorious divine being as their own self. That's what is needed. And it said, Shreyasya Preyasya Manusyameta Vairagya. Both things come, good and pleasant. Those who are of dull intellect, they grab the pleasant. Those who are of sharp intellect, dhira, stable, sharp, purified intellect, what they do? Shreyo hi dhiro abhipreyaso vrinite. They and they choose the shreya, that is good. But dull intellect person, preyo mando manda. They dwell, grab the preya, that is pleasant. So this all is the power of viveka and vairagya. That happens when our house is in perfect way. So that's why the song says, mm, please light the lamp of knowledge within you and see deep jnaner bati jalo hriday anukhan. Always burn the light of a lamp of light in your heart and that dekle pabi hriday mate brindavan. When you burn that light in the heart, you find there Brindavan in your heart. What is Brindavan? Where the Krishna dwells. God is dwelling within you. Just you have to keep the light of knowledge always on. Don't put it off. Always light it, and you will find that there. Don't let body mind forcibly possessed by thieves and encroachers. And sometimes this body of ours can be encroached by thieves and encroachers. Anger, greed, lust, ego, fear, hypocrisy, etc. are the encroachers. So keep body free from those. Be alert, keep it clean, and don't let such encroachers encroach your house, and make it all free from contamination, pollutants, thieves, and robbers, and then you will find the truth. Sri Ramakrishna said, Naham, Naham, Tuhu, Tuhu. Your idea of ego, that I am the doer, I am the achiever, that is totally wrong. That gives you the sense of that identification with the body and mind. What your body and mind does, you think you are doing. Nothing you are doing. It is all being done by Prakriti. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa. All the works are done by the Prakriti. You are nothing there. Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti unmanyate. Only those who are ahankara, very egotistic and vimud and deluded, they have no knowledge of anything. They think kartaham, I am the doer, I am the achiever. In fact, I am nothing. I do nothing. Then what I do? I just dwell in the bliss. My presence is there, and I am not the doer. Naham karta, naham bhokta. I am not the enjoyer, I am not the doer. I am indweller in this house. That's why Sri Ramakrishna gave wonderful mantra. Mantra is Naham, Naham, Tuhu, Tuhu. All these things are done by you, O Lord. I am nothing. I do nothing. You are the real being who does everything for me. This body, mind, all achievements are you are doing it. It is your thing. I am not there. I am not doing anything. I am just here as your servant. I dwell, and you are the real doer. If we have such ideas, then our house is so perfect, and we enjoy indwelling in this beautiful house. Remove the intruder ego. Let the house be repossessed by its rightful owner, the divine self. The divine self always dwells in the house. So let it be possessed always by the indwelling self, and not the intruders have the right to possess that. Remove all the intruders like ego, greed, and all other encroachers, and let this house, the human body mind, be possessed by its rightful owner, the divine self. And that is possible through our little sadhana, little viveka vairagya. By the grace of God, we can achieve and keep the body and mind, this beautiful house of ours, perfect, and we can enjoy this life in the world. Everything in the life can be enjoyed without any perplexity, without any problem. As if what about the different difficulties? How to enjoy that? Difficulties, Holy Mother said, don't get worried for the difficulties. They are like the water passing through under the breeze. It pass. All difficulties will pass through. Just have patience and difficulties will pass. What about old age, sickness, disease, and death? That is the property of the house. Why you identify with the house? That will come. Every house that is built will be like that. It will all be destroyed, renovated, and broken, and sometimes demolished. Like that, this body has to be demolished. But what of that to you? So as Janaka said, Mithilayam pradagdhayam name daihati kaschana. Mithila got fire. And everybody told to Janaka, your kingdom is in fire. Janaka said, why are you worried so much? Mithilayam pradagdayam name dayat. I am not born. City is born. I am not burned. City is being burned. So why should I worry for that? Let it be doused, let it be repaired, let it be rebuilt. But what is there to worry? Thing has happened. Like that, this body has the problems. I will meet its own fate in that way. But I, the indweller, I, the self, I am always the same. Nothing, no doing, no enjoying, but always in the state of bliss. That indweller, blissful self is the indweller of this house, the body mind complex. May this we be aware and identify ourselves not with the body. Let us disidentify with the body and identify with the indwelling self, but keep this body fit and trimmed as much as possible, and utilize it for bhakti and seva, for devotion to God and service to fellow human beings, selfless service to fellow human beings. Thank you very much. Now the closing chant. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Jai Mahamai Ki Jai. Jai Swami Ji Maharaj Ji Ki Jai. Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Buddha Ki Jai. Jai Isha Musha Ki Jai. Sarvastaratu Durgani Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu Sarvasad Buddhimapnotu Sarvatra Nandatu. Hari Om Tat Sat. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. Thank you for attending the Sunday service today, and we'll meet next Sunday in person, and also it will be streamed online from Toronto. So next Sunday service at 11 a.m. In Vedanta Society of Toronto. And on 17th is our annual general meeting. So those who can join, please attend this general meeting. Those who can join, please send the proxy forms either by email or physically filling and sending those. By just send the email toronto@rkmm.org that I'm not able to attend personally. So I authorize Swami Kripamayananda to conduct on my behalf to represent me in the general meeting. If you send one email at toronto@rkmm.org, that will also help us to conduct the annual general meeting. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.